Thank you for watching Prepper Nation. Be sure to subscribe. This video is it's a little later than I typically do video content in the mornings. I try to hit a certain time and try to be consistent. But look, guys, things come up sometimes. To level with y'all, I've been camping over the past 24 or so hours. My wife had several days off, so I just decided one day I'm going out there and I'm going to camp. I didn't call up friends or anything. It was a solo deal. I didn't even bother Caveman. Caveman is doing caveman things, I guess. There hasn't been live chat for the past couple of days. And again, I was camping, so I wasn't here to activate. You got to physically activate the live chat to make it happen. And then yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we had the Crate Club review drop, and I'm like, what's the point? People don't watch those really anyway. So it is what it is. Been camping and I had this idea all set. When I come back Wednesday, very early morning, I'm gonna go ahead and film a video. I'm gonna call it Hard Candy Christmas. I've done two of those over the past 2 years now. And I said to myself before I went camping, I'm gonna do a video. Again, Hard Candy Christmas 3.0 or something goofy probably, and I'm gonna talk about how hard this Christmas is gonna be and how people need to be prepared. It's gonna be tough sailing, tough sledding, if you will, this Christmas season or for the rest of you this holiday season. For me, it's Christmas season, but when you go camping, and this is probably the one thing I love more than anything about camping, especially the solo camp, and that's nothing against friends or family or anything like that, but when you solo camp, it's not like I was in a blizzard or anything, the weather was nice, it was easy sailing, it wasn't a hard camp or anything, but you have time to contemplate. You have time just to sit back and really think about things, and when I do the solo camp, and I have this, I don't know what you would call it, this pattern or whatever it seems like. On the way home, I stop at a local Sheets to get gas on my way back in, and I'll grab a cup of coffee, just the house blend or whatever, and I'll sit at a table at Sheets, and I'll kind of just to prepare myself for the real world again, and, I'll do that and I'll people watch, as my wife likes to call it. So during this trip and all of this contemplation and all of this time that I had to think about things, the channel itself, the state of affairs here in the United States, the comments that I got a ton of last week, I decided I'm not going to do a hard candy Christmas video and try and prepare people and get people ready again because I've done that twice already. But also because I think we need a hard Christmas. I think we need a hard candy Christmas this season moving forward. Enough of this easy living here in the United States of America. Again, I wasn't out bushcrafting and roughing it. It's not like I went with nothing but a knife, and some cordage. No, I had a tent and everything, and it's an easy setup tent. The weather was great. But even during ideal camping situations, the moment you return to town or city or wherever you happen to live, you begin to see how society is acting. And when you disconnect for a day or two or three or a week or whatever, a month, when you disconnect and then you get back, you can see it more clearly and you can see how soft things are here in the United States of America. These were my thoughts. And do you know what I hate? Um, That's always when a rant is getting ready to start. So for you folks that hate the rants, do whatever you gotta do. For the rest of you, I'm gonna rant a little bit. Hope that's okay. You know what I hate more than anything right now here in the United States of America? Even more than the thief in chief and the policies the thief in chief is putting into play. This instant gratification world that we live in now. This is where my mind meandered as I'm sitting there in the dark, got a little bitty fire going. Again, it wasn't that cold. It's not like I needed a bonfire, but the sky was clear. And as I'm sitting there and I'm looking up, this is what comes to my mind. I'm sick of this instant gratification world that we all live in and that we're all guilty of. All of us. If you're watching this right now, you have a connection to the internet, right? Whether you pay taxes for it or not, again, for the crazy folks out there, but you have a connection to the internet. I find it very hard to believe that this channel is the only thing you're doing on the internet. People do things on the internet, but it's led to this instant gratification world. And I don't know why this popped up because I was eating, Mountain House out of a bag. Again, it's not like I was roughing it too much, but I started thinking about this culture that we have here in the United States where we buy frozen boxes of food, we put them in microwaves, and we consider that food. I don't really understand how we went from actually, they didn't call it homesteading or pioneering back in the day. They just called it living and cooking, the lost art of cooking. I don't know how we went from that to instant gratification and microwave foods and things. And I got to be honest with you, when I got back and I got home before I took a shower, because I normally take a shower as soon as I get home, but I sat in the recliner for a few minutes. My wife's in the living room with me. And the first commercial I got hit with on TV, um, it wasn't Grubhub, it was DoorDash, the delivery service. Now they're doing grocery store trips. And the commercial was, I know I'm ranting, I'm off topic, but I promise it makes sense to me at least, right? The commercial was this dude was at a sporting event and he's ordering groceries, and it says something to the effect of, don't let life get in the way. Don't let grocery shopping hinder you from living. And I'm thinking to myself, how hard is it to go to the freaking grocery store? You know, everybody's buying frozen meals anyway, and then they depend on a microwave to cook the crap. How hard is it to physically go to the grocery store? I know some people will comment and say, well, I'm disabled and I'm elderly. I get that. But I'm talking about for the average person out here, 30s, 40s, decent physical shape. Like, how hard is it to go and get your own groceries? Have we reached this point as a society where we can't be bothered with going to buy our own groceries anymore? I said, "You gotta be kidding me." And then I went and took a shower, but this constant need to always be connected. This hit me, in front of a little bitty fire. It was about this big, guys. It hit me. It's like this, just this constant need. I'm not gonna lie to you. A couple times I was reaching for the phone, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Faraday, whatever. I got it if I need it." But even me, I don't even like the internet. And I'm to the point now, I've noticed this over the past few weeks where I'm reaching for the phone just out of habit. And I hate it, you know, this constant need to be connected. And I realize camping. Old John, who's getting older by the day, I might add, can either be good at things like Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat. Did I already say Snapchat? I don't know. Rumble, whatever platform happens to pop up next, right? I can be good at social networking if I put my mind to it, or I can be happy. But I can't be both because, again, I hate this instant gratification. I hate the idea of it. To me, it's a distraction. Cell phones are a distraction. Smartphones now, not even cell phones really, because people rarely use them to call anymore. It's all about social media. It's all about posting and updating and all this crap. And I can't stand it. And I would be miserable. Yeah, I could build a bigger platform online. I could have more of a reach as a creator, content creator, but I would be miserable, right? And I don't want to be that person, you know? So I'm going to do what I can do on YouTube. And of course, the folks on Patreon, God bless y'all. I'm going to do what I can do on those two platforms. And I'm done with the rest of them. I decided on my way home I'm like, and I've got a larger reach on Twitter than I do on YouTube. I'm gonna post one last thing over there. I don't even know what it's gonna be, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on what is it? Instagram. I don't even have Snapchat. I don't want it. On Instagram, these will be just farewell posts, and then it's done and dusted, and I'm over it. Done with it. So I want to get into some of these comments, and the first one actually has to do with this instant gratification. Okay. Um, now these are vague comments, several of them came in, but they were worded differently and stuff. So I just wrote them down vaguely. Why aren't my comments being approved immediately here on YouTube or on Facebook? Facebook's another great one because we have a community on Facebook. Why are my comments being approved immediately? You know, why am I being silenced over here, you commie? It's because I'm not connected 24/7. I'm not one of these little nerds on the phone. So it takes me a while. Sorry, guys. That's probably not going to change. If you leave a comment, I'm eventually going to see that comment. And if you're not being a dirtbag and you're not coming after people physically, or you're not just here to troll, eventually that comment's going to be approved, but it's going to be when I jump back on the internet because I'm trying to live my life. Okay. Um, why has the channel turned dark? I got this one several times last week. Why has the message gotten dark? This used to be an uplifting channel. Because I realized sometime early last week, I don't want to sugarcoat things. The message on this channel is going to get more adultish and more gray as opposed to rainbow color. All right. Because the world we live in is a very harsh world right now. And I'm not going to sit here, quite frankly, with cans of Sherwin-Williams paint and paint it different colors to people's liking. It is what it is. People are getting ready to die. People are getting ready to lose a ton of money. We're getting ready to see a world war full on. We're going to see a draft. And if you're not prepared for that, if you're too scared by a message on YouTube, you need to go camping at that point. And you need to do maybe some self-evaluation. And you need to join us in the deep end of the pool where everybody's at and everybody's taking it seriously because it's not a game. Okay. Um, Another comment that I saw a lot last week, I'll just trust in God. I'll just put my faith in God. And I think this is an excellent comment. This is an excellent approach. You can be optimistic and still be a realist. It can be done. I try my best to do that as well. Definitely trust in God. Trust in your creator. But don't leave out the part where your creator gave you the tools to survive. All right? Too much of that going on. Yes, absolutely read the Bible. Absolutely have faith. 1,000%. But understand your creator gave you a brain. Your creator gave you common sense. Your creator gave you several examples in the Bible of people preparing for the worst. There's probably a reason for that, okay? Your creator would want you to take the initiative to prepare. Just my 2 cents on that. So I stopped at Sheets. Right? The contemplation for me at the campground was more of the instant gratification. I can't stand it. I hate all of this branching out, people trying to be famous on social media crap. Look, you got 1 million subscribers on social media or whatever, good for you. You're still a guy or gal. I still look at you as a normal person. I'm never going to hit 1 million, but if I do, I want to be looked at as a normal person because that's all I am. Okay. But then again, I stop at Sheets like I always do. It's like a ritual at this point. And again, I get the cheap coffee. It's already out there. I guess it's called house blend. I put a little cream in it and I go sit over in the corner and I people watch. So if you're ever in this area of Surrey County, Winston-Salem, Southwest Virginia, and you happen to stop in the Sheets, maybe glance over your shoulder because I might be there, son. I might be there people watching. Hardly anybody glances over. It's like watching ants do a specific march in and out of this store. And you can learn a lot by how people are going to behave and act just by watching, believe it or not, you know. But anyway, I digress. I watched a lot of people buying booze. I didn't realize we had this many people in America that drank beer, to be honest with you, son. Every other customer coming out of the beer, it's called the beer cave where I stop. A lot of tobacco. I saw a lot of cigarettes. I saw a lot of chewing tobacco. I didn't see anybody buying cigars. Don't know what's up with that. Maybe I missed that. But here's something else I saw a lot of. I saw a lot of complaining. I saw a lot of people bitching and moaning because Sheets didn't have what they were looking for. They didn't have nachos, maybe, or they didn't have a specific sauce to go on their sub. Then these people were literally having meltdowns. What do you mean you don't have nachos? Are you kidding me? What am I supposed to do? All right. I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of people getting their $5 cups of coffee from the fancy counter. I don't know if it's a specific name or not, where you get the frozen deals. My wife will go there occasionally and get me one, but I don't know what to order. She gets it. I digress. What do you mean you don't have low fat milk? What am I supposed to do? And I realized as I'm watching this, and I need to add this as well. I'm watching people with the digital pay. They're getting their phones out to try and pay digitally or tapping cards all over the place. Half of them, not to throw stones here, son, but people my age and older seem to really be struggling with the technology. The younger people were coming in and they were gone. Instant pay, they were gone. People my age and older, we're going to be in serious trouble when the reset hits. I'm just saying, when this AI gets full blown, because people my age and older didn't seem to know what to do. They didn't seem to know how to hold the phone, how to tap the card. There was a struggle, like that, and it was a user error for sure. But this is when I realized, as I'm watching all this chaos in Sheets, in Sheets of all places, right? How weak the United States of America has got. How weak we have become as a nation. What do you mean you don't have my brand of skull? This is ridiculous. I'll take my business elsewhere. What do you mean you don't have low fat milk? What am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to drink regular milk? Are you kidding me? What is this, a third world country or something? People were having meltdowns over this. And I said to myself, there's a quote, it's a longer quote, but the part that sticks out, good times create weak men. And I'm looking at this playing out, and I'm saying to myself, we are a weak society because we've had so many decades of good times. Straight up. And I've been talking over the past few, the past few weeks or even months about the wars that are coming, the draft that's coming, the economic collapse. Another comment I got a bunch last week. John, what are your thoughts on the bank not paying deposits? My thoughts are the same they were 2 years ago when I told you, get your money out. Don't trust the banks. If you do, you're an idiot. My thoughts on that have not changed. They're thieves. We're going to see an economic collapse. All right. But as I'm looking around at all of this, I'm thinking maybe we need this. I'm going to get on here this morning and I'm going to cheerlead for the bottom to fall out in this country. And I know that's not a message a lot of people want to hear this morning. And I really don't care. We have become weak as a society. We're always talking about my buddy over on Patreon. You know you are, brother. We're always talking about where's the line? Where's the line in the sand? Why don't more people care? And it's because they're focused on stupid, menial things like fat-free creamer or you're out of Dr. Pepper sauce. What am I supposed to do? We're focused on stupid crap. Maybe we need a world war. Maybe we need a draft here in the United States. Maybe this will wake some 20-some-year-olds up when it goes from Call of Duty to real life. Maybe we need this in order to get back to a society that is no longer weak. But I don't know. These are my thoughts. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Take care. God bless.